Hello and welcome back to another episode of One Kick from Glory. I'm one of your hosts, Clive, and as always, I'm joined by Craig on my left and Matthew. So for today's episode, we want to do something a little bit special. We decided we're going to put the football talk to the side for this week. And we wanted to dedicate this episode and honor the life, legacy, and the incredible memories that provided to all of us by the late, great Jamal Edwards, MBE, MBA, PhD, who sadly passed away on Sunday. And his loss is a tremendous one, but we take comfort in the fact that his legacy and his influence goes far and beyond music, beyond just entertainment. This man shaped the culture. This man is one of the greatest Black Britons who will ever live. This man is a pillar of our society, and this man has changed the game forever. So, to start off with, I'm going to go over to you, Matthew, and because I think for all of us here, we've all grew up on the amazing work of SBTV. Of course, we think forward to nowadays, we can always think about, you could just name a random musician on the charts and in some way or another, they'll have a connection to Jamal Edwards, either directly through working with him or maybe a connection that he put together with someone else behind the scenes. But for you, Matthew, what's one of your first ever memories of Jamal's work?
You know what? The funny thing is, I knew who he was. I was very kind of late to kind of what he was doing, because he was actually the same age as me when unfortunately he passed away. So one of the very first videos I kind of cottoned onto, and I was like, it's like he's taken the voice of the streets and given it a megaphone for them to shout out and show what they're about. It's going to sound very strange, but I promise you, I latched onto it. I was like, all right, this movement's proper serious now. It was actually the Meridian Dan video, German Whip. It was actually that, because at the time, this is when, so back in my days of before I am now, I used to work on the club scene, and that song would play every single time, and you never know that it all started from the channel and the video camera, from this young guy from Acton in West London, and he's showing the streets the voice and just what talent can be found if you want to dig that little bit deeper, because we've all known just how in what London is about, different parts, north, east, south, west, you're going to find something special from every corner. And it's like he said, oh, do you want to film the video? And he said, yes. And he showed up. I think it was his, like, one of his debut songs. It's not his only song with Meridian Dan. I mean, if you're getting JME on there, I mean, you must be doing something right. That's true. You could call it a one-hit wonder, but I guarantee if you played it right now, people are going to know. And it kind of started that kind of cultural shift of like having a German whip, aspiring to be better for someone that's come from a certain area where life is tough, it's a bit gritty sometimes, and you might not want to try and get out of the area. Simply aspiring to have a nicer car means so much, and makes you want to be proud. So it's, again, late to the game, but it's like it kind of almost wanted people to do better. And if you watch the actual video itself, it shows you going from what he was in before into some like nice Mercedes, showing that kind of pride. And now you look nowadays, a lot of young people growing up will only have that German whip, So it's
true.
It's something small. And me again, the love of cars again kind of sticks out. But the way that people talk and what kind of car that they want, a lot of them want like something even like a Golf or a Polo, or anything like that. And it just shows that like where you come from does not measure to what you're going to achieve. And the perfect example is with him. 15, getting that camera. Did anyone know he was going to do what he did? Absolutely not. So you're right there. He's left a legacy behind that's very few are going to top.
No, absolutely. And I think it's just as you're sharing there, just the impact that a project that he worked on had. And just in general, I think just the whole idea of like everyone has a German whip, or most people have a German whip. My car's half German, but
getting there.
But anyway, Craig, what would you say is one of your first kind of memories or interactions with Jamal's work?
I met him in 2014 when I was going to University of Westminster because I was on Oxford Street one day going to uni, but that day our lecture got cancelled, so I had some free time. I was just walking, I saw him, I just spoke to him. I gave him my business card at the time. I had a business card at the time, and I gave it to him. And I told him I wanted to start up a media company. And he just gave me some good encouragement. He said to me, "Find the right people, and just do this. You can do it." He gave me the motivation. And he helped me. It wasn't. I didn't speak to him for long because he was busy. I know he had meetings that day, so it was a brief chat, like 5-10 minute chat. And I took that with me, and I said to myself, I'm definitely gonna start my media company. But at the time, it wasn't the right moment to do it at that particular time. So in the end, I ended up starting 87 a couple of years later after the meeting with him. And one thing I have to say with him, he was such a humble guy. He worked hard. He helped everybody, and he always made time for people. It was a people person, and I love that about him. And not only that, like the funny thing is that we all went to the same college. I went to Hammersmith College, but it was a different division. I went to Ealing and Hammersmith College. He went to the Ealing branch. So we all were at college around the same time, but we never crossed paths because we were in different builds, But I think the first video of him is when he got his camera and he got signed with Richard Branson with the whole sponsorship thing with SBTV. And I think one of the videos that impacted me the most was when he did that when Chipmunk got signed to T.I. And he did the interview with Chipmunk talking about his mixtape London Boy. I love that mixtape. I thought that mixtape was such a good mixtape. When did the interview and Chipmunk did the freestyle and then Jamal was doing the an American accent at first, and everyone thought he was trying to do like a look. Everyone thought he was trying to be American, but then you're just joking, and he cut it, and then he spoke back in English, and then it was so funny. So that was a good memory of Jamal Edwards, and I'll say that like him being a young entrepreneur inspired other companies like Link Up TV and GRM Daily as well. He was the first pioneer from the UK. And to be honest with you, SBTV was bigger than MTV and other channels that were out for black music. If you wanted to know about artists and all that, you would go onto SBTV because they had so much exclusive freestyles, and he worked with Nines. He worked with so many artists. He did a lot of good work with Nines, like with this album. He helped him, took him to fashion shows. He did a lot of stuff with him, helped him, guided him. He helped so many artists. So yeah.
I think that's definitely like the resounding thing with Jamal. Like looking, especially like all the tributes that are pouring out to him on throughout social media since Sunday, and it's been going on, just over the last few days. Just the amount of people that he impacted, just how much time he had with people. The fact that I even seen one person that DM'd him, just asking him, "Hey, like I'd love to like just on a chance just to see whoever give him some advice." Next thing you know, Jamal's like, "Yeah, hey, I'll meet up with you. If you're here this time, I'll be here." He met him and his friends, and that was like the start to help that person get into the media industry and kind of get in on their content creation journey. I think for me, one of the first videos that I remember really clearly was of Elro Raps. One of his videos on SBTV. I was just blown away. I was like, okay, this guy called Elro, let's see. But just the way, the flow, it was just everything about it was just incredible. I think that's one that stands out for me. The other one, which was really kind of at the time, it just was really inspiring, was after SBTV got really established, and obviously this is after he did the Google Chrome advert with it, which is the one that I was watching the other night, and it just still gives me that same feeling when I first saw it. I was like, yo, Jamal's on Google. Like, this is crazy. But it was when he did a show with Channel 4. It was like a 4-part documentary series looking at behind SBTV. So you got to see the team, and it was showing you how they work and just like day-to-day life, and just seeing like a guy from Ends who started off at 15 with a camera, and like in the space of 5 years at the time had achieved so much, built a massive team that was having international reach, and just creating content that was literally changing people's lives. I think the thing that really astounded me, which I found out just this past week from listening to people sharing their stories and stuff, and just their accounts of the impact he had in their lives, is the fact that he didn't charge for any video that dropped on SBTV. And when you think about that, like that in and of itself is mad. Is like, it's just crazy to think about, because it really ain't the case right now for other places that might do similar stuff. You know, obviously things are a lot different, and people, you know, have to make income a different way. But like, I just love the fact that he was just so willing and hungry to just expose different talent and give people a place to just showcase what they can do. The fact that he believed so highly in people, the number of people that he convinced to jump on the platform who were like, oh, I don't want to rap. Yeah, just do it. Just do a freestyle. Or even when he started doing the acoustic sessions, just come on to do a song. I'm not really sure. And yet, off the back of that one performance,
the rest is history.
Their careers started. Of course, one of the most famous examples is Ed Sheeran.
Big time.
And just him having that A64 and just how that just created the whole path for him and where he is now. And I guess the big question for us now looking forward is just that, like, how do you, I guess the big thing before I get into like longer term things is like, what would you say is like a big lesson for, I guess, for anyone just looking at what Jamal's done? And I'll start with you, Matthew, on that one. Big lesson.
Well, I'm talking out, not that I'm an old black man, because I'm not. But
we're both the same age. Me, you, him, we're all the same age.
But speaking as someone who works in a school, who works with kids, and if you ever find out there's someone, if you can't, and I'm speaking specifically to the young black men out there, young black boys, future black men out there, if there's anyone you want to try and aspire to be in the sense of his drive and his wanting to help people and uplift them and see that kind of positivity, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And like you said, he's from the cloth, he's from ends. And all he ever wanted to do was to see people shine and to achieve and just to see that pride in their face. You know, that's the kind that there's no better sense of giving to other people and giving them platform that clearly you know that not necessarily they might not even deserve, but you know that they can have, that they have that potential to go that little bit further. It's not all about, you know, it's not all about you. It's about the wider world. We as people don't thrive on being solitary. We thrive on others and helping each other out, from something as us guys here helping each other out, someone like him introducing out to Ed Sheeran. Like it's about giving, not just taking. And he gave and he gave. And look at the legacy he's leaving behind. The amount, and like you said, the amount of people getting in touch, pouring in tributes, people you'd never even think of, like, you know, Emily Atack's giving tributes just before he passed away, unfortunately. It's insane, and just how he reached from a small little part of acting to the world.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't necessarily have to do what he did, you know, go down the whole route of media. He struck gold at the time and he had the right mind. His mindset was in the perfect place at the time. But it just shows that when you work with others and you know, build a proper team, you reach out to people and you just you're just a genuinely nice person to be around and want to work with you. You know, it's not all about that. I get that in business, it's all about that killer sometimes, that like, oh, let's go at this and thing. Step on each other's toes. No, you don't have to be. It doesn't have to be like that. So if you ever want to figure out like a role model, someone like that, and someone who wants to stretch out on different paths, he wasn't about just helping one group of people. He'd help anyone if you ask him nicely enough. You know, so just if you ever wanted a role model, there you go. There you go. And he's, you know, unfortunately, embodied, he's left us, but his legacy, I promise you, it's going to keep on going. It's going to keep on going. So there you go. I was just giving you a role model, guys.
And for you, Craig, what would you say would be the biggest lesson people should take away from what Jamal achieved?
I think like helping others is important. He helped everyone. So anyone up and coming people, just help each other. You don't have to be beefing or warring each other. Just help each other, encourage each other, uplift your peoples, man. Don't hold a grudge against people. Just help as much people, inspire people. If you know you can support someone, support them. Like, because you never, don't do it because you're thinking, oh, I deserve a favor afterwards. Do it from the kindness of your heart. That's what he did. He showed us that, you know, you can have a massive following and whatever. What if you don't influence your people? Then what's the point of having a massive following? He influenced not just young people. He influenced generational people. He influenced the world of people, and he broadened horizons. So it goes to show that all of us here, we can help each other and encourage other people. So, you know, we got a platform. We can help others. Say, you know, we can help you do this. We can help you do that. We can inspire other people. Talk to the youth. tell young people like stay away from gangs, stay away from trouble, do positive things. You want to do football, sports, whatever you want to do, to give them the encouragement, show them the right ways how they can get there. Education is important. Teach them the right things and give them the right tools for them to reach their full potential. And that's important in life, like, because when I was young, I had the opportunity to do youth work and go into youth clubs and all that. So I kind of learned from all that experience of me doing that when I was younger, and it helped me a lot. So it's something that all of us should do, like try and be big brothers to young people, or be big brothers and whatever, and look out for our peoples, man, and support them.
No, I think that's really good and really true. And I think the thing I'd say alongside that, and it's also a topic that Jamal was really like a fundamental thing to him as a person, is self-belief. In fact, he's written a book about self-belief, and if you're watching or listening and you maybe don't know about Jamal, or you're curious to learn more about him, I'd advise you to go find that book on Amazon or any other book platform. Buy it. Self-Belief is one of his first books he ever wrote, and I think that sums up, because people used to ask, what does SP stand for? It's self-belief. It's also Smokey Bars, which was his rap name. He can rap, he could rap, He could rap.
He's got
a
bars
lot of man.
still.
He got bars for days. Don't get it twisted.
Bars,
Don't think just because he was a cameraman he couldn't rap. Jamal had bars for days. So definitely like read that book. And I think on that topic of self-belief, when you want to achieve anything in life, you kind of have to have that focus, that determination, that even if people around you might not see the vision or believe in you, as long as you believe in you and you've got the talent, you got to keep going. If the talent isn't quite there, hard work and level yourself up to get the talent to where your passion is. I think that's something that I've obviously been seeing lots of clips around the Kanye West documentary. And that's one of the things that really stands out, is that he just knew he was good from day. And he had so much self-belief and just pushed and then the breakthroughs come. So I think to anyone like watching and listening, just develop that self-belief inside of yourself, in your core, as within yourself as a person. You be your number one fan. Before worrying about external validation or other people to support you, you need to be your number one fan. Yeah. And then from that, you can build outwards. Because if you don't believe in yourself, other people won't necessarily believe in you. There might be people out there that will say, okay, I can see a bit of talent in you. Let me encourage you. Let me help you, give you a platform. Like people who for SPTV didn't necessarily want to jump on, and Jamal encouraged them to jump on, and they did. But there comes a point where you then have to start believing in yourself, and you have to just internalize and own that and be your biggest fan. Because when the criticism comes, or when the challenges come in, when you're trying to build something, whether it be a career in the creative industry, the music industry, even in education and finance, any kind of sphere you can think of, when you're trying to build your career out, you're going to face pushback, you're going to face challenges. And if you don't have the strength within you, you're going to crumble and then give up. So that's what I'd say to people, just really be encouraged by that. I guess the next thing like to look at in terms of, what Jamal's done and just like the impact and the influence of his work is just like how he used his platform to just create opportunities. I remember reading this amazing tweet over the week, which just said that like, because people often like, when it comes to opportunities, they make it that they open the door and then they close it behind them. Jamal opened the door wide, and everyone's been running through ever since. And the best thing about Jamal Edwards is that his work wasn't focused specifically around just black people. It was anyone. If anything, I think the big thing that, which is like the really defining factor, is that anyone who had talent, he gave an opportunity to. Especially people that will classify as working class, but just anyone who had that talent and needed that opportunity to get a platform and a space to share their gift, he gave them that. And I'll start with you this time, Craig. Like, what do you think in terms of like just all the stories you're hearing about Jamal and the people he helped out? There's some people that I didn't even know that they had interacted. Like, what do you think when you hear all these stories, and then how do you feel like people should take that lesson forward?
Sometimes in life, like, like when God creates us and when you're born, like, I think Jamal was sent on this earth to just help people. He had that gift, like, way to just, like, like when someone is born and they know he knew that he's not going to be here forever. So he made sure to help so many people and influence so many people. As Matthew said before, his legacy is going to live on forever through his family, and you know what I mean. But one thing I'll say is that the people that he helped, they're always forever grateful for him. None of them were ever grumbled. And he had one thing with him. Nobody was ever angry with him or had no one said anything bad about him.
No.
Even I was talking to some of my friends who I play football with who know him personally. They all said to me he was such a nice guy. He was in the area. They were always like, he would just help support businesses, small businesses. He would just support you. Like if you have a show, he'll go and support you and things like that. It goes to show, you know, he was a busy man, but he always made time for his peoples. So it goes to show, like, you know, whatever we're doing, like, say for example, Matthew, you got a show, you got something, you say, oh, Craig, Clive or Malachi, for example, can you come and support? We should always support each other, no matter what. Whatever we do, we all need to support each other, like, because that's the way how you build a community, by supporting each other. And I feel like he did that a lot, not just in the black community, he did it with every community.
Everybody.
And I think that's what we need to do. We need to support everyone, help everyone, guide them, give them, if you know anybody you need advice, help them and give them advice, and just motivate people. Like the other day, on Monday, me and my friend, we went to an event in Wembley, and they had the dedicated to Jamal Edwards. So and we had some guys that one of the guys was on SBTV, and one of the other guys won the rap show last year. He was performing as well. And then after the show, like someone said to me, go and talk to them and encourage them. So I spoke to the guy, I spoke to all the performers and I encouraged them. I said, you got good talent, just go out there and continue doing your stuff. Don't make any negative vibes or energy get to you. So, and they appreciated it. They loved the way how I encouraged them, because it's always good to encourage talent. If you can see someone's got talent, encourage them to reach their full potential. And that's what he did with people.
No, indeed. And for you, Matthew, what would you say, like, really stands out just from hearing just how many people he helped just to create opportunities,
just by being, like I said before, like a pleasant person, just making yourself someone that wants you want to be around, who just wants to see you grow and see you just like uplift. And you know, he might see something in you that you don't necessarily see for yourself. And it's like what you said before, where he knew from a very early age that he was good at what he did, and he was like, this is such an infectious feeling. Like, it's a rare thing to, you know, to have, where you're like Craig says, well, you put on yourself like, I am good at this. And it must be such a good feeling in my, like, I want other people to see. It's like he took pride in his talent. So let me give you an example. So where I work normally, I work with a couple of boys who today we went to a garden centre, like rural stuff. So granted, you know, academia ain't necessarily for them. So sometimes it's a struggle to even come through that door to go to certain lessons. But today, when they're going to the garden centre, they're working with their hands and they're making all these plants and, you know, taking proper pride in, you know, in their work. And before you know it, they're helping each other. They're helping each other try and do the plants, try and get it right. You know, something that they found that, hang on, I'm good at this. So they're sharing stuff with other people. And it's just like that. It's that infectious feeling of when you want to see people do it just like you do, because I found this amazing thing here, I'll help you out here. Like and it grows and it grows and it grows. Your network grows, and like you're helping all kinds of different people, whether they're black, white, Asian, Indian, it doesn't matter. It's that it crosses along that kindness could cross any race. Kindness crosses everywhere. And just having that, and in return, you're not doing it for anything. You're not doing it for no gain. You're not doing it for money. You're not doing it for prizes or anything like that. You're not even necessarily doing it for favors. You're doing it because you want to. You want to. And, you know, again, not to blow a trumpet again, that's one of the things I've learned over time, being taught, shown that kind of light of doing like voluntary work. I guarantee you probably did a lot of voluntary work, because, you know, it's giving back. It's reward within itself, just wanting to do something and install the happiness onto other people. That I want you to have, this will go further than any console, car, holiday, house you can ever imagine. I want you to be happy. I want you to, you know, to have that happy. Here it goes. That's one of the best gifts you can give to anyone, to help them just to see that joy and that warmth in their face. Sometimes even for a brief moment, or they turn it into like a career or something. That's one thing that, you know, certainly that's, you know, even though I'm not overly familiar with him, but it's something that I will take away, where it's just to see that happiness in other people. And yeah, just to be just what it means to be pleasant, the person to be around, you know, because that's how we work, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he was honestly one of those people that, again, just looking at just the outpouring of love, the shock of this whole situation, the outpouring of love, the stories you're hearing, the pictures people are sharing, the videos people are sharing, it just goes to show the man lived by his words. He lived for people. He lived to try and create something that was bigger than himself and that would go further and far and just really have a massive impact. And I think one of the things with death in general is that it's really difficult and hard, because you have that kind of mixture of, on the one hand, you're grateful for the memories, but on the other hand, you often have that tinge of, oh, I wish, that little bit of regret that can stick in there. I'm even seeing someone who said that she was like, oh, last time I spoke to you, I was telling you not to chew so loudly, and I wish I just told you that, like, you know, I love you and I was proud of you. And it's like, it's a little thing, but I think it's you know, it can be easy to get caught up in those kind of thoughts. And I think the thing that's really great is that he was celebrated while he was here. In Acton, they have a mural that was put up of him, I think last year, which was part of a project where they want to celebrate local heroes, and he was the one that was nominated and chosen to do it. And it was created by a local youth, I think it's a youth centre or a youth group put together that worked on it, and they built it. And it was made using recycled materials and stuff. And in fact, was it Sunday night or Monday night, they had like a visual there. They had a street party there. It was going off for hours. DJs came down and performed. Lady Leisha was there performing as well. It was amazing. I mean, his mum even came out and she sang a bit, which just, I mean, just for her to take the time to go down there. And courage, I mean, one, that must have been so hard. But also, it's a testament to the legacy that he left behind, that she wanted to be there with the people to share in this moment of celebration. And one of the things that really stands out for me when, you know, on Loose Women, when they had the segment dedicated to Jamal, which Judy Love and Charlene White sort of anchored and chaired that whole session of the episode, just hearing how much his mum wanted him to be celebrating this moment, not just to think about it as the sadness of loss, but let's actually honor the amazing achievement this man has achieved and the impact it's had on people's lives. And I think there's a lot that, especially now in this social media era, where people can be very quick to kind of think about the negatives in people and trying to one up each other and trying to find fault in people and find a way to tear people down. I think this whole situation should serve as a reminder for two things. First one, the most obvious one, is life is short. You never know when your day is going to come. And sometimes we can live as if we have forever when we don't. And secondly, and most importantly, that it's better to love and to help than to try to destroy and to poison. Because clearly what Jamal's life has shown us is that he gained so much more through helping people than he would have done if he tried to gain from it by say charging or monetizing or trying to like profit from the situations that he was helping people with. He was so selfless and gained so much. And I guess on that note, as like the last thing to close, I think as like a final statement from each of us, I'll start with you, Matthew, then Craig, then myself. If you were to say one line statement of what Jamal Edwards means to you, what would it be?
It's a difficult one to put it into words. You know, I was kind of thinking about something like that, but I want to try to take something that I saw on the show I actually saw it on Top Gear a few years ago, but you know what? It stands so true considering, you know, we lost him so young, you know, such a young age. And the thing I was saying, like, is a case of, it's the star that shine twice as bright, lives half as long.
Wow.
So I was thinking that is just such a poignant match to someone like him. I think, you know, it's because he was young. I mean, God crying out, he's saying age as some of us here, but for the time he was around, look at what's been celebrated for what he's done. Look at what the lives he's changed, the lives he's influenced, the lives he's potentially even saved. You know, he's done all so much. Remember, he started this when he was 15. 15, so for half of his life he's been doing nothing but, I'm not gonna call it hustling, I'm not gonna call it grinding, because it's not, but helping and building and giving, not not taking, but doing something harder but more rewarding, but giving. So yeah, that's the statement I'm gonna go by. The star that shines twice as bright lives half as long. That was him in a nutshell.
You, Craig?
I said angel on earth and a bigger angel in heaven. The reason why I say that, because he was an angel on earth. Like, there's a lot of people that come on who came into earth and they live for a certain amount of time, and they go, and when they go, their legacy live forever. His legacy will live forever, trust me, because the impact he did, not just with, like, he did a lot of charity work. And I was working at Chelsea the other night, and the way the Chelsea fans were cheering him on the 31st minute, they loved him. They called him one of their own, and he was a massive Chelsea fan, by the way. Everyone didn't know. He was a true blue. He used to go to all the home games, and he would always show love to the fans, and the fans would always show love to him. So, he's going to be missed. He's going to be missed. But all we can do now is just like remember the good times, all the good times that he shared on earth, and pray for his family that they can get through this difficult time, because it must be difficult for them. Pray for his mom and his sister and his family and his close friends as well, who are close to him, and all the people he influenced as well, all the artists, all the A&Rs, all the people he worked with, and hopefully they can find peace in their heart. That you know what I mean. That's how I want to end it for me. Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, and I think the final thing I'd say is that for me is like, he's a giant upon which the shoulders we're all standing on. His work, his platforms, his energy, his dedication to people, opportunities created. I mean, even seeing pictures of him and Casey Neistat, who's one of the biggest YouTubers that's ever been. The fact that he knew them. I think even the fact that SBTV started around the time that YouTube started as well. And if you think about how YouTube as a platform has grown and developed, I don't think it would have been as influential in terms of its music and for people that do music stuff if SBTV and Jamal weren't there. That's my honest opinion. If you don't like that opinion, argue with your mum, innit? But like, thanks everyone for watching. Special, like, to Brenda and to Tanisha, just hope, and obviously extended family, friends, just hope you guys just find comfort in this time. Like, stay safe, take the time you need to grieve, to celebrate, just cherish the memories you've had, and ignore any of the trolls out there who are just fishing for information about stuff, and just stay strong. This has been us signing out at 8-7. If you liked it, please do share this message. And of course, if you are watching on YouTube or listening online, let us know what memory from Jamal really stands out to you. And we'll be back next week with another one.
Peace.